So what made me laugh was actually laughter last night. I was on a plane ride from Baltimore to Los Angeles after having been on a long flight from Israel. So it was like epic marathon of unpleasantness. And I was in the window seat of Spirit Airlines. That's the airline where you have to like literally buy your seatbelt and buy your, anything that's extra you have to buy. Probably have to buy the life jacket too, but I didn't get one. So if something happened, I wouldn't have done well. It was really turbulent. And we're all dealing with it because that's what you do. The guy in the aisle had ordered a whiskey with like Coke or something, and in one of the bumps, he spilled it on the guy in the middle. And this guy was just already compromised and miserable, but he said, no, dude, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. His right leg was completely covered with this drink, like all of it. And the guy in the aisle was so like horrified. I'm so sorry. And the guy in the middle was like, no, man, whatever. Just taking it in, dealing with it. And they just both started giggling because it was funny because there's nothing you could do. And while they were giggling, the turbulence was getting worse and we were all just dealing. And the giggling was contagious. And all three of us were kind of giggling. And it helped me get through the turbulence in that period. But also I was just in such gratitude that these guys handled it the way they did. So that's my laughter story. If you got one, I'd love to hear it.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad you were able to laugh in that situation. I, in fact, have not flown Spirit Airlines because of that. And there's comedians of all different backgrounds that have joked about Spirit Airlines. And you said some of it like, you got to buy the oxygen that you breathe when you're on those type of discounted airlines because they charge you for everything. By the time you catch a deal for $10 round trip, by the time you pay for all of the other stuff that's required for you to have just for safety, you've already paid for a flight on Delta, it seems like at that point. So I honestly have not flown that, but I have joked and laughed with people that have told me stories about what they've ended up paying for or having to have to pay for in order to benefit from that discounted flight. Turbulence is not my thing. And I remember listening to this comedian once, and I laughed to the point that I could not catch my breath and had tears flowing down my eyes. So I'm just sharing this in alignment with your flight story. Is this comedian said, I cannot remember his name, but he said, when I'm on a flight and I experience turbulence, he said, the first thing I do is I look at a white person. He said, because they just don't seem to have any fear. Like they'll do some of the wildest, craziest things. They'll take any type of chance with their life. He's like, so I'll look at a white person. If they're still reading their little magazine or book or on their little laptop or eyes closed and just enjoying the flight, I'm like, okay, I'm in good hands. This is just a little bit of minor turbulence. I'm making it a big deal. I'm okay. Let me inhale, exhale. He said, but if I look over at a white person and they look like they're scared, then I'm like, oh shit, this plane is going down. Oh my God, that still makes me laugh because I laughed so hard because I was like, oh my God, I do the same exact thing. I thought it was just me. When I get on flights, and I fly because now that I'm early 40s, anything over 3.5 to 4 hours, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I know, is there a plane? If there's not a plane, is there a train that can get me there? I don't want to drive that anymore. I used to do 8-hour trips. I don't want to do that. If I have to tolerate being 30,000+ feet in the air to get to where I need to get to faster, sign me up. And for that reason, it is intentionally why I do early morning flights, because I agonize over the point of being on a plane all night. So I'm usually not sleeping well or sleeping at all. So by the time I board my flight, I'm so exhausted that I usually am knocked out before they even give the safety instructions. By the time I open my eyes, we are already reached our designated altitude and are cruising. Okay. So I laugh because there have been times that I've experienced turbulence, and that is exactly, before I even heard that comedian say that is exactly what I've done, is where I've looked over And I'm like, okay, what the white people doing? Okay, they look chill, so I'm good. And I remember a flight where we were the last flight. This was Hurricane Irene. We were the last flight out of Florida to be able to get back to New Jersey at the time. And I remember the turbulence on that flight was horrific. And I remember looking up, and there was a lot of white people on that flight that looked scared, that you could see their eyes darting back and forth, and people putting their seatbelts on and just praying out loud. And I was like, oh shit. And I just started crying, and I was like, God, please don't let this plane go down. I literally just had my baby at that time. I was like, I just had my son. Please do not let me die on this plane. But so when that comedian said that, that was the first thing that came to mind. And as you were just sharing your experience on Spirit, it just made me think about that comedian's joke of, we do rely on each other, no matter our background, to be like, okay, wait, is anybody else on this flight scared? How do we console each other in that moment? Thank you for sharing this laugh for today.
So I've been on Mastodon since late November of last year. And in that time, in just, 4 or 5 months, I've been able to find a circle of friends who have become quite close. One of them, her name is Tara. We've become really, really close. We feel like long-lost sisters. And there are a handful of other people who I interact with quite a bit. And another person, her name is Alice. And the thing that's been making me laugh this week and and continues to make me laugh is a drawing that Alice did of me and Tara. And it was based on some back and forth that Tara and I had, and occasionally we have these inside jokes, and occasionally we kind of bring them up to the surface, and it'll feel like almost like we're like sparring with each other. To those who don't know, that she and I are really, really close and have a lot of really sisterly type affection for each other. But not to get into the details because it's a little embarrassing. But Tara said that in one post that the first time that she and I meet, whenever that does happen, she's going to be decked out in rain gear from head to toe. Anyway, so this friend of ours, Alice, drew a little sketch of us, and I think the thing that makes it so funny for me is that she put a little tag on my shoulder, like a paper tag, like a luggage tag, and it says, "Look after Ren, please." And I think the thing that gets me so tickled about it is that, when you look at it, you think, who put this on her? And why did they feel the need to put this little luggage tag that says this? And why didn't Ren take it off? And I guess what's funny to me is I can totally see this happening. I can see my wife writing this tag, maybe her phone number on the back, and looking, you better not take this off. And me wandering around with my little luggage tag and my suitcase in the airport, and my friend Tara shows up head to toe in rain gear. Anyway, that's what's had me giggling all week long, and I just seem to not be able to stop.
Greetings, Deborah. I enjoyed your story, and I can only imagine that it was a great opportunity to let a little tension off from all of the travel that you've had, so I can really appreciate that story. And it seems like there's always something happening when you're on a flight. And so the great part is to find something that you can really see as light-hearted, even in the midst of what some people might get a little upset about. But that was a great story to share. For me, gosh, there's so many things that have happened because I'm actually away visiting my daughter and grandson, and so he just makes me laugh like all day long. but one thing came to mind in particular that I wanted to share. So I went to pick him up, and his mom was walking back to the car, and he was so excited. He had the most amazing, big, joyful smile on his face. His eyes were all lit up. And of course, being that I live so far away and I'm here, I'm taking it all in, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness, he's so excited to see me. And so they get in the back seat because she's putting him in his car seat. And he kind of bolts out of her arms and comes across the front panel of the car, like to the front seat, as if to want to give me a big hug. So he jumps in the front seat and he wraps his arms around my neck, and my daughter and I, she in the back seat, I in the front seat, and we're just like, oh, because it's such a beautiful, sweet moment. And all of a sudden, he reaches around me and grabs the protein bar that I have sitting in the front pocket of the window ledge on the car door, and he scoots back to the back seat. So all of that love that we thought we were looking at and we were experiencing and we were so joyful about, he saw that protein bar from the very beginning when he was getting in the car, and we didn't even know it. So he was very excited about the protein bar, which he actually enjoyed, I might add. But we had a great laugh about it because here we were both just taken over by emotion. Oh my gosh, he recognizes you and he's so excited to see you. And it was really my protein bar that he was excited to see. Have a great night. Be blessed.
I just started my day by listening to this thread, and it makes me want to do this more often than I do, just to have us share just moments that, sometimes it's the how to be there moment of like the big laugh, but when you recount these moments, it's the smile that I hear in people's voices that gets me going more than anything else. And to also notice that, small interactions that just are goofy and human and, offerings of how we're feeling about each other. I think that they're so important to recognize. And I wanted to thank all three of you or four of you, I think, who kind of chimed in here. I just appreciate it, and I'm always looking to have a little crease in my frown to bring it to a smile during the day. So thank you all very much. Look forward to more.
Deborah, I wholeheartedly agree with seeing more of this kind of content where we can spread joy, where we can bring a smile to someone's face. I mean, even an opportunity to help someone to recall something that may have made them laugh, because, we live in a very broken society right now, and if we're looking at the news and hearing some of the things that are happening around us, we need more joy. We need to laugh. And I think sometimes we get distracted by the day-to-day, and we may not take a pause of something that made us laugh, that overwhelmed us with joy, that we need to just have something trigger that thought again so that we can laugh and smile about something that may have happened a while back. So I really think that that's an excellent opportunity or excellent idea, and I look forward to participating and to hearing more from all of the community. So let's dig down in our smile pocket and think about some of the things that have made us smile along the way, made us laugh, even a giggle to a just roaring laugh. It all matters. It's all valuable, and we all need to have a little bit of joy each and every day. So thank you.